Okay. First, we need to go to modeling mode and make a train. Use a box. Because we don't need, oh, that's fine. Let's cancel that. Let's get a reference out here. So we know how big this thing is. Yeah, I just realized because I'm on this window. Oops. Can I edit this once? Is that big enough for a train? Is that too big? I don't know. Let's, let's do this. That seems fine. Depth-wise. 450. Yeah, I realize that I'm not going to be able to see when people talk. Um, attach. No. Can I pin this? Sorry. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, I wish I didn't do that. Why isn't there a window? Why can't I increase the size of this? There we go. Be awesome if you could actually like increase the size of this. There we go. Oh my gosh. Where did it go? This is crazy. Come on, man. I will.
We just need on the details the location.
The location. That's cool. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You know, if I can't do this, how am I even gonna? Of course. Of course. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Then I click here. Well, we'll figure it out. It's a little too tall for a train. When you're a train, I still think that's too tall. All right, we'll stop it there. And then what else? We want to see if we can change the top of it. Well, let's go ahead and accept it. So, where did I just send that to? Let's see here. Generate into levels. Let's go. Static mesh. Train car. And now, mesh. All right, here we go. Well, I bevel it. Okay. You know what? That's fine for now. There. So we have, well, I guess I could bevel the front too. You know, this will be fine for now. So now we have this. And let's see here. Let's duplicate it. El double. And let's put it at the same location. Excuse me. So shift and right click. Copy that location, and then shift and left click. Puts it right where it's over it. And then we want to scale this down just a little bit. Now let's go hide the other one real quick. And now let's scale this down. Okay, it's snapping. Okay. Hmm. I feel like it's a little too small. Okay, so let's try this. We got this, and then we shift click that, and then let's mesh cut it. Oh no, Boolean. Yes. Let's try that. So now what does this look like? Can we go inside of it? Second here. They cut out the bottom, which we don't want to do. So let's move this other one up just a little bit. Let's turn off snapping on that too. Actually surprised that it cut that out. I should have been a little bit smaller. All right. All right, now let's try bullying it. All right. Okay. So we have a train car kind of. Can't. There's no doors or anything, but we'll worry about that later. Well, maybe. Maybe we will create a door. Change this back. So now I'm like, did I make it too short? I don't know. I feel like when you walk into trains, the roof is always pretty close. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Okay. So well, I guess first off, let's do this. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So we want to make a door. So we can go back to selection mode. Let's just make a cube. Anyone saying anything? No. Right. Do I need to sign in to see it? Alright. So what is this now? This is now the actual building. Okay. sure I'm deleting the right one. Actually, you know, I'm going to change this again. But whatever. Alright, so we got a cube. And we want to make it a door. And we don't want to cut out the bottom of the floor. Basically want it to be like right above it. And then, well, so I guess we'll bool that too. So why? Alright, that's why. Um, editor cube. That's it. Oh, I already have one called editor cube. All right, where is that at? Oh, where, that's it. Interesting. The editor cube is the engine cube. All right. And voila, we have a door. And now we can delete this one. Hold up. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we got that. Now, could make a blueprint out of it. Let's do that real quick. Blueprints. Let's just have a train folder. things here. Go ahead. Actor, BP, train car. I'm just going to add some lights to this so we can see inside of it. Add a static mesh, train car, and train car. We'll probably want to, excuse me, we're going to want to change the location of it eventually, but we'll see what the tutorial says. For now, I want to add, well, should we add sockets for where the point lights will be so we can change them later? Add sockets. See here. Socket manager. Just wanna get it in the center. Looks about right. No. Okay. Can I? Yes. Alt and drag. Further. Okay. F2. Okay. Hmm. Right. My voice. Hmm. So why is this not intense enough? I feel like I shouldn't have to increase it this much. Let's replace it with a spot point light. Let's bring the point light down. It's fine. All right. And the lights are movable, so that's good. Okay. Now replace this. That's what. So okay. So you know, we are going to want to access these on the construction script. Mix that. Yeah. For now, let's do that. Can you do more than ones at a time? You can. Let's go promote to variable. Chain car light intensity. So you can click on this and then click on that and hit Q and it'll line up. So you click this, shift click that, hit Q, and that'll pop it right into place. So now that just nuked the lights. Um, did I not make it instant? Oh, you gotta make it instance editable. All right, don't know if anyone's talking. Probably not. All right. Let's go with 10,000. Man, I don't want to make the attenuation radius too big. Guess I could add more. See, why isn't that scattering? Is it because this is completely rough? It could be. Could be the material I'm using with. Let's change this to the level. Let's see. Grid. Hmm. Let's ask. All right. Yes. Restart. Sure. Hello, thank you for joining. I can't see if you've typed anything in. You can see here that I'm not seeing it. So I hope you're not talking to me because I'm not trying to ignore people. But if something pops up here, I will try to respond. So right now we are making a train. I'm trying to increase the light radius of these lights without increasing the light radius. And I thought you can do that by increasing the volumetric scatter, but it's not working. So we're going to ask the AI engine why that's not working. All right. So I thought if you click on this, if you guys know the answer, you could tell me too. I'm open to any suggestions. So yeah, I thought you could kind of increase these values to kind of get it to spread a little bit more. That doesn't seem to be doing anything. Maybe I need a post process. Anyways, let's see what the AI assistant says. Why? This is against our terms of services. We can't answer the question. And you know, it's because I don't have fog. No, do I? Interesting. So let's see here. I assume this level had everything in it. That could be on me. Let's bring up the environmental light mixer. We have fog in here, don't we? Do I need, it said I need a volumetric cloud too? Let's see here. Not seeing it. Hmm. Yeah, it's here. Okay. Volumetric fog. Let's see here. Now let's see here. Uh, there we go. It's a little bit better. But that might kill our performance. All right, 1 second. Let's hit E to access the hotkey. Let's get rid of this guy. I haven't added collision to this yet. Oh, we're good. Cool. Let's add collision, maybe. Now, thinking about adding collision to this. Is if you scale it, like the way I'm going to do it is if you scale it, it kind of messes things up. I'll show you after I add it here. So let's go add collision, box simplified collision. And let's give it a floor. Yeah, I can't see it. You know, sometimes I just rather like put like invisible cubes in the map, but I'm not going to do that here. That's probably a bad practice. All right, so now we have that. Alt and drag. Let's go ahead and rotate this 90. Let me get it to come out. This is great because I can't see anything. All right. Oh, here we go. Deciding how much I care about making this perfect. That seems fine. This one we can just drag it down a little bit. And drag this over here. But we gotta leave space for the door. Hmm. That looks fine. Just get it right in the middle. Um, this is snapping, even though it's not supposed to be. I feel like man. Oh my gosh. Whatever, this will be fine for now. Okay. No, so I'm saying the problem with this. I'll be able to walk into it a little bit here. Oh no. Okay. What's going on here? Hold up. So what's going on here? Okay, I didn't put anything on those ends. I think my capsule might be too high for this. Let's try that. How how tall is this bro's capsule? Sandbox character movement component. That's what CMC stands for. CMC. All right. Anyways, yeah. Why that shouldn't be. Well, let's turn on his capsule. Um, hidden. That's not how you spell hidden. All right. Hidden in game. No. Visible. Sure. All right. Cool. So that's hilarious to me. All right. So what do we do to fix it? Do we just increase the height of the train? Or do we just increase the collision of the train? I feel like increasing the collision of the train is an easy fix, but then it's like, well, you know, the whole thing, this game is going to take place inside the train. We're actually not leaving the train. So to me, this is fine. And actually, I'm not going to allow jumping in the game either, so what the hell do I care? It's just going to be traversing, not jumping. Okay, that, since I just remembered that I'm not going to be jumping anyways, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Um, and this is okay because this comes out and collides there. I'm gonna move this back down. It's, I kept it down here, right? Cool. Okay. So when you do box collision like that, um, it works if you keep the scale right. But if you start messing with the scale of the mesh or whatever, it like get out of whack. You see that? So just that's something to keep in mind is when you're doing collision, box collision like that, and you're doing it like by wall or, you know, you just want to keep the scale the same. I think if you do it like 2, 2, 2, it'll be okay. Yeah. But if you like, no, even that, I feel like it's starting to get out of whack. Oh, no, maybe not. Yeah. So you just got to keep your scaling uniform, and it should be okay. All right. So now we got a train that we can actually walk into at least. And we can see inside of it. And the FPS didn't drop a crazy amount. So now we're actually going to do what the name of the title of the video is. We're going to put this on a path. Let's watch the beginning of this guy's video. Seredias. Anyone saying anything? No. Okay.
So copy, we take a path, path.
So first we're going to make a
So
BP
like,
path.
so let's create one and
Train. Actor. BP path. And he said add a spleen. Okay.
we do right click, blueprint class, actor, and let's call this path. So like in the car, we just need a spline component here, and that's it. Great. So let's place this path into the world. And what I want to do,
All right. Let's do that. Wonder if rotating it's going to mess anything up.
is we take our train. I will show you later how this train works. We just need on the details the location, so copy, we take a path and say parsed. So that is for that the navigation works perfectly.
So we take this location and we paste it here. I feel like this is where I was saying that I might need to change the location of this pivot. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see here. All right, 1 second. Bring this back out. All right. Modeling. Okay, my favorites. Yes. Edit pivot. Bottom. So you know it's pivot is what under attributes. No, it's under X form. Just so you know. I have it favorited so I don't look for it. If you want to favorite something, you can right click. Or do I have duplicate on my? I already have it on my favorites. All right. Well, first off, you gotta click on one that you don't already have favorited. Right click, add the faves. Okay. Anyways, so we have edit pivot. Can't see again. I don't know, that seems fine to me. So we'll just accept that. Selection mode. This is gonna be yeah. See, my train is now higher up. go back into my blueprint, and I gotta offset that change. Or no. I know, it actually did it automatically. It's just at this. If you hit the N key, it'll drop it back down to the ground. All right. So now that we have this new location, copy that location, and then paste it. Remember, shift right click to copy, shift left click to paste. All right, so there we go.
So let's go inside here. So we have the path right here. Let's spin it around in the right direction. Take this point here and go to the top. If you go outside, you can see what I prepared. So a very long underground tunnel, as you can see, and we put this right into the end right here. Tunnel, as you can see. If you go outside, you can see here. If you go tunnel, as you can see, and we put
increasing the size. First of all, I can't really tell where the beginning of that train is, because I feel like he moved this. We're just gonna do this for now. Which way did that go? This way? I was wondering what that square was. All right. That's fine. How many spline points did that create? I don't know. We'll see.
this right into the end right here.
He's using transform. He's not using scale.
So if we change the perspective, you can see it's now going alongside this tunnel here. Great. So let's take a look on the train here. So the train is just a static mesh, and I have a sound like that the train is traveling, and I make a blueprint class. So again, blueprint class actor. So I prepared a few things for this. So we take a look.
Actually,
we have static mesh. This is this one here. And what I just add is some spotlights, so that has light inside, just to look better. We have trigger, so a box collision right here. We have an audio, so inside here, so that we hear the train when it's traveling, and some doors for later. So like always, we need some variables. So let's go here, and we have the distance. This will be a float. We need then speed. This is also a float. And what we can do is we can set a default value.
So we need distance and speed. Float. Speed. He said he wants to set default values.
Let's say 20.
Sounds
we make the speed public, and the next variable is travel. This will be an boolean, and last is the active path. So the active path will be our path object reference. So we make this public as well. And now we can.
Okay. So we had a Boolean active, and then what do you call it? Travel? BP path. Not bath. Maybe the bath simulator. That sounds like an interesting game. All right. He said also make this one public. Instance editable, public, tomato, tomato. All right. Active path. Oh, this is travel. All right. Active path. I thought that sounded weird. Why would we call? Okay.
Develop some functionality here. So we go to the details, go to our box collision, and as always, begin overlap. In this case, we cast to the third person character or whatever you have. Then we need a branch. We ask if the train is travel at this time. Then what I want to do is we take our audio system. This is our sound that I prepared. So
I'm not doing audio right this
already put the sound inside here, so train sound. And I what I want to do is set volume multiplier on, of course, on false. So
what kind of sounds do we even have in this? Oh, this is gonna bunch of footsteps.
that means the train is not traveling, because then otherwise you get a loop. And we put this to 1.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna use a box collision. I'm just gonna use an input for now to get that train moving.
Great. So then we need a timeline. So add timeline. And this is the start, because I want that the train is starting slowly and then goes faster, so it's look more realistic. So we go play from start.
So hold up. So if travel is false, we do this. Interesting. All right. For now, it's just is one being used for anything? Doesn't look like it. All right. We're just gonna do this dirty for now. All right, whatever. Debug key1. No, we don't want to debug. Keypad. Oh my god, I cannot spell. All right, so usually when I do something like this, I usually like to put a not traveling, so it goes off the true, but I don't, he might put something off of that true eventually, so I don't want to assume anything.
So then we need a timeline, so add timeline. And this is the start, because I want that the train is starting slowly and then goes faster, so it's look more realistic. So we go play from start, open this up. We need a flow track.
Okay. Control, drag. And we need a float track. I wonder what he names it.
Can call this start as well. And we add time 0 and value 0, of course. And the other one will be time 5 and value 20, just for example. So it means after 5 seconds he goes to a speed of 20.
Okay. Right click, add key to float. Change the time to 0 and the value to 0. And then we add another key to float and we change that to 5 to 20. Okay. And then how do we, where's the button to snap it to the view? Here it is. All right. Is that always there? Okay.
You can play around with this value here. So go out here, and what we want to do is we want to set the speed. That's the start, and we want to update it. So then we want to set the travel boolean to true. Of course, now we travel. We need the branch.
Set on every update. It's going to be set.
And the branch is we take our active path. So get. Then we say get spline length, like that. So now we have the distance of the track.
Okay. So on update, we set travel to true. So every time this updates, this will set it to true. And we get a branch. Oh no, we set the speed too. Set speed. And then we get distance of the path. Did he say get distance too? No. I'll get spline length. What am I thinking? Okay, and then we got a branch.
And what we want is we take our distance, say get, and we ask is the float below another float, and this will be the length. So
okay. All right. Get distance. Is it less than this?
he checks every time is the distance,
So here's
and we ask is the float below another float, and this will be the length. So he checks every time is the distance at the end of the track. So like that. So this will be the condition.
So yeah, every tick of the time, like basically every frame, it's going to check if it's at the end, it sounded like you said.
So, and the next part is we want to create a new function. This will be move along, whatever you want. And here we take our train, so that's just the static mesh component. So put it right here. And we want to set the world location like that. And we go again and want to set world rotation.
World location, world rotation. Move along. World location. You got location and rotation, I guess. We don't want to use that one. Maybe that node didn't exist when he started this. But whatever. Maybe there's a reason he doesn't want to combine them. Excuse me. Okay. Has YouTube flagged this as a... No. All right. Sometimes YouTube will say, hey, you're watching another video, and
put this inside here. Again, we go to the details. We need 2 inputs here. The first one will be the path. This path will be a spline component object reference. And the second one will be the distance itself as a float.
Okay. So, wait a second. Okay. Path will be a spline component, not the actual path. And then distance, which will be a float.
Great. So we put this inside here. We take the path and say get location at distance along spline. Like that, and put it to world.
Get distance at location along spline. And get location at distance along spline. That's what I said. And then change it to world. Okay. No.
The distance will be the distance. And the same thing, we go get rotation at distance along spline.
Get rotation at distance along spline. Does he change this to world too? I'm sure he does.
And again, the distance goes into distance, and this will be local. So we put the return value of the location inside here, say split structure pin, and again split structure pin, and just connect the Z with the Z value.
Interesting. So it's local because I'm guessing it's local because you want the relative rotation, not the world rotation. Does that make sense? Whereas this, you actually want to know the location in the world. But this one, you just need to know the local rotation because you don't want the world rotation. You want its notation in reference to the actual path. All right. So that's fine.
Like that. Great. So can close this, and what we now need is we take our move along function here on true. We call the function, and the path will be the spline. Put it right here. Of course, the distance will be the distance. And now again, we need the distance and we need the speed.
Okay. Move along. Oops. Did he just...
Of course, the distance will be the distance.
Yeah.
And now again, we need the distance and we need the speed. And we say float plus float. So we connect it. And at the end, we want to set the distance to the new value like that.
Okay. So the distance, the new distance is whatever the distance was plus the speed that was traveled. So the distance, like if the speed is 20, you've moved 20 units from the distance.
Great. And the last part is we need a delay right here of, I recommend 0.001 seconds. So this is on complete, and on complete we go back to the branch. So we have
Heyo. That's confusing. All right. All right, point 001. Isn't this on update anyways? Well, I guess this is just the start to get it up to the speed. Did he have travel turned off? So once this gets up to 20, I think it starts just working on this. I don't know.
a loop here. So what it does is it calls to the character when it hits the trigger, checks if the train is already traveled, then set the volume that the train is traveled, then set the speed in case of 5 seconds to 20, then checks the travel to true, then get the path and checks every time is the distance or is it on the target. Then it sets the location very quick, so every millisecond, and the speed is the plus value. Okay, so we go to the details, select the train, and we have of course set the active path. So we can just set the path that we put inside the world. He said, here's the test, and there's the path. So we hit play, see if it works. Go inside the train, hit the box. It drives a little bit slower. Now it goes faster. You can hear the train.
I have a feeling this isn't going to work because things usually don't work on the first try. But we'll see. You know, I don't think I allowed character input, for example. Well, let's first off see if this is even working. Okay, so you know, maybe I should just add a box. Now this is becoming more difficult. Yeah, I should just do that. This is just all for testing for now. All right, you win. We will do. I don't want to cast. I guess it doesn't matter. I'm already in the level. Whoa. Hey, there we go. Very cool. Very cool indeed. All right. So now, let's see here. What do I want to do? It would be cool if I saw this stuff. Let's get the player start over here. Bad size, come on. You're a bad size. All right. Wait. What just happened? I'm facing the wrong way? Hold up. I think something happened here. Let's just go ahead and change that. You know, let's go delete. Has to do with the rotation. So hold up, let's see here. In the level, do this first. No, delete the path, and then put it back out here. Okay. Save. Paste the location of the train to the path. And then reselect the path. Should work. There. So now we can see the level. Very cool. I guess we can make it this a little longer. Chugga 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 chugga. That's my train noise, so we know it's running. Chugga chugga chugga. Are we gonna go off the map? No. Alright, very cool. So, what do we do with this now? Now we take a break. I think I'm going to take a break real quick. I'm going to drink of water, and then we're going to take a look at his next video. First off, let's go ahead and, I already like this one. We're going to track looping. That sounds interesting.
Hello and welcome to the...
Alright. I'll be right back. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this next video. That will allow us to loop the train. All right, one second here, actually. Gonna see here. All right, got the chat pulled up on my phone now. That way, if anyone talks, I will be able to respond, as you can see. So, don't be shy. If you have any questions, let me know.
Tutorial. In this tutorial, I want to show you how you can create this train station where the AI train is automatically stopping, and this track here where the train is driving automatically in a loop every round.
You know,
So let's go.
I'm
So
not
the
sure
first
how
thing I want to
important this is
create
for
is
me.
this train station here. So it's pretty easy. It's just an blueprint actor, and I just put, yeah, a cube. This one here that I see where the box is, a box collision, and this cube again. So pretty simple. These are on the tracks. The train hit the collision box. I'll just make this marker here so that I know. And yeah, it slowly hold on here. So let's fill up this with some functionality. So we go to the details and go to begin overlay.
Yeah, because in the one I want to create, I'm not going to be looping really. If anything, I guess it could be a loop. Because basically in my game, you're just on the train the whole game. You're basically stuck in a train, and it just keeps moving, but you're not like, there's no stops per se. It's like a cross-country train. So it'd just be like a long train where you're seeing new scenery or different scenery as you continue along the spline path. So if anything, I need to figure out a way to like just constantly generate or maybe constantly increase the spline as the train moves. Hmm. You know, what's actually relevant to me is additional carriages. So we're going to take a look at the additional carriage tutorial next. Though I hope he doesn't have...
Hello and welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial I want to show you how I can create these train carriages. So when we drive the train, the carriages are driving as well. And you are also able to undock them so that they slowly will stand. Great, so let's go. So first of all, we start up with our train here. Let's open this up. And I optimized some functions, so the move along is still the same. But we go to the event graph here, and I optimize the tick event here. So we have usually the retriggerable delay here. You can just delete it, so it's not necessary because of the tick event.
So he changed that a little bit to where we're not going to change that for now, unless it creates a problem in this tutorial.
And also we have our wheel rotation animation. So this is much easier to do it this way because now you can add up some wheels and just connect it with the target here.
We're not
Let's
doing
go to the
wheels
viewport because we need two more things here. The first
I'm not doing wheels because we're never going to see the outside of the train. Unless it's like a sequence or something. And then we can just rotate them in the sequence.
thing is we select the train mesh, add component and add an box collision, and let's call this train. Looks strange, but the reason for this is that we can place this box collision here in front of the train.
I might try that.
And this will be the pivot point of our train so that we can move the train like we want, but we don't change the pivot point.
Okay. So. Did he attach that to the train mesh? You did. Box collision train. And he basically just has it in the center. All right. He basically just has it in the center. Does he have it in the center? Looks like he has it up a little
So
bit.
we just place this up on the train mesh here. So now the box collision is the necessary point and we can move around the train. Great. And now we place this up on the train mesh here. So now the box collision is the necessary point and we can move around.
So he has the train car as default scene route. I really hope this doesn't break things. Let's just test it real quick. Okay. Let's test it again. All right. So that's fine. And now we will do that.
The train. Great. And now we place another box collision right here, and this will be the undock trigger, just an example, so it's much easier to do it like this. Let's place this just for example at the end of the train here, let's say right here, so then we can trigger the box collision and we will undock the carriages later. Of course we need a variable called
Undock train. I don't have a what the heck? Oh, wait. When I put the train mesh back into the hold up. Okay. Hidden in game, no. I want to keep that visible for now. Okay. Jump up. Okay, so far so good.
Great. And now we place another box collision right here, and this will be the undock trigger. Say right called carriages. Carriages is an train blueprint object reference as an array.
Okay. I wonder if that is going to be instance editable. You can change the amount of carriages or not.
And we make this public.
Yes.
Then
Instance.
again, let's go to the event graph. And we need a few new functions here. So the first one will be the custom event. And this will be activate carriages. So we will take out our carriages, say for each loop. Then we check the array element if it's valid.
Okay. Custom event. Activate carriages. Get for each loop. And we check is valid.
With a question mark, connected. Then we take out the travel boolean here, go from the array element and say set travel, and we will set it to the travel boolean here. As well, we do this for the speed. So take out the speed, go from the array element and set the speed to the speed of the train. So
Okay. All right. So travel. So we're setting this one travel because that's the target. And then if it's true for us, it's true for that one. Or if it's true for the parent, it's true for the rest. And then we also set the same speed. There we go. And then we use our speed. Okay.
Now we will set the status of the travel and the speed of the train to the carriages. Compile and save this. The next part is we go to the event begin play. So we will get the vector location as where we go from the spline and say get world location. Then we say vector minus vector like this. We get the vector length and then we set the distance to the return value like this. The reason for this is when we go back to our level here, so we have our path, our spline component, and our train will follow the spline, and we can place it however we want because it will calculate the distance between the train and the begin of the spline, so it will not snap to the begin, it will stay there and continue follow the spline. And this will also work for the carriages. So let's go back to the train here.
Okay. Um, we'll just get the spline. Spline. And then we get world location. Subtract. Okay. And then the vector length. Oh, that's just this. And then we set the distance. We set the distance. We don't set the speed. All right. Speed's all alone. All alone. Okay.
Here, let's go to our handle here, so our switch, and we just go to the end and want to activate our carriages. The last function that we use is the stop function. I optimized this as well, so as you can see we have our custom event. The last function that we use is the stop function and want to continue follow the spline. And this will also work for the carriages. So let's go back to the train here. Let's go to our handle here, so our switch, and we just go to the end and want to activate our carriages.
So we activate carriages here basically. Well, no, you don't want to keep doing it over and over and over again. I'm going to do it here. Hopefully that works.
The last function that we use is the stop function. I optimized this as well. So
This
as you can
chain
see,
never
we have our
stops.
custom event here. We get the speed, check at first, is it over 0? On true, we want to set the speed minus 0.1 and then continue every 0.5 seconds so that we can slowly come to 0 at the speed. And on false, we set the travel boolean to false and set the volume of the train to 0. So in this way, we have a better solution to get the train to stop very slowly and realistic. The last part is we want to undock our carriages. So let's go to the details of our box collision here. On component begin overlap. Then of course we cast to our third person character, take out our carriages.
I don't need to do that.
For each loop again. Then again, we check
when does it actually spawn carriages?
Valid. With the question mark. And if it's valid, we just call the stop function. Like this. So this is just an example to show how it's done. Let's go to our move along function and replace the train mesh with our box collision here, very important. Compound save this.
Okay.
And now we go back to a level, go to the train, right click, create child blueprint class. Let's call this carriages underscore blueprint. Open this up. And the good part is we just have to replace the train with a carriage. So we select our train mesh. I prepared already in carriage here, as you can see. Link is in the description. So we take this static mesh, go to our carriage blueprint and just replace it. So we have to make a few changes here, as you can see. So I skip the process. The important thing is that you place the box collision here in front of the carriage again. Let's go back to our level. I place the carriage blueprints right behind the...
Wait up. But this is... Did he change that?
Train. The important thing is the position, because it will keep the position over the whole ride. And also I aligned everything with the train tracks. Also we have to select our train here, go to the details, and we have to set the start path to our path here and the carriages to our carriage blueprints. The carriages as well, we have to set up the start path. When we now hit play and we will drive the train, you can see it works pretty good. The wheels are spinning of the carriages as well. So let's go back to the train here. As remembered, we have this box collision that undocks the carriages, like this one. And now the carriages will slowly come to stand.
Okay, so that's why he had to
Great.
stop. So hold up, when he creates the variable, what does he use?
Carriages. Again, let's go to the event crane, blueprint, object reference as an array.
So he's just
And we make this public. Then again, let's go to the event graph. And we need a few new functions here. So the first one will be the custom event. Let's go back to our level. I placed...
First I'll see this still works. Okay, it does. Now he's saying... Let's just see if works. No, this is interesting. I wonder if that's going to mess anything up. So it's not working.
The carriage blueprints right behind the train. The important thing is the position, because it will keep the position over the whole ride. And also I aligned everything with the train tracks. Also we have to select our train here, go to the details, and we have to set the start path to our path here and the carriages to our carriage blueprints. The carriages as well, we have to set up the start path. When we now hit play and we will drive the train, you can see it works pretty good. The wheels are spinning for each loop again. Then again we check if it's valid with a question mark, and if it's valid,
Could be because of when I activate. Hold on, let me. It could be because that's not on the spleen. No. Dang, I thought that might work. All right. Let's see here. Let me make sure this is running. I think I have a workaround for this. All right. I think I will. I could change this a little bit. Let's do something here. Instead of this, I could add custom event, activate carriage. No, that's not what it's called. Activate carriage. Let's call it activate carriage. And I do that. Activate carriage. Let's see what happens. Theoretically, it should do this at the exact same time for the carriage. Alright, so that worked. And if I do this, if I go over that, I could just tell it to stop just for now, just for ease. Could reverse it. Um, thing about this is it doesn't like it's not. Oh, this is what I'm gonna do. It's not really replicatable because, like, if you go into the next carriage, it's got to be able to determine which carriage you're stopping, like which one you're disconnecting. Hmm. Okay. So now we want to create a door at the back of this. Okay. All right. We want to add a back to this. So let's go ahead and go back to modeling mode. I also want to create some windows, honestly. So I'm going to cut the back of this out. Kind of want to use the same size as this. Where's our cube? Our mesh cube. All right. Is that good enough? The thing is, this does need to be a different mesh because it needs to have the frustration. Okay, doesn't matter. For now, we'll. Okay. Is that good? Let's move this off the ground so we can see what's going on. Okay. So, and model boolean accept. So we're going to have to change the collision on that. All right. Save, and then we need to duplicate this. SM. Say like the conductor train. Duplicate. Carriage train. I don't know why I'm doing it. Anyways, it creates that new thing. Anyways, I should have kept the same size of that. Frustrating. Yeah, because now it's going to be a different size. Should have like a BP door cube or something. Or I should have at least copied the dimensions. we'll see when it intersects. And then, this is frustrating. I guess I could Control Z. Maybe I should just Control Z. I mean, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Let's see here. Okay. Let's go ahead and just duplicate this. Oops. Duplicate this one. That way it's the same. It's on the same axis too. All right. Now we'll Boolean it. So that will create one Boolean, new one, and now we can bully this one again. Now we'll just Boolean this. So now we'll have one that has I kind of want them to have the same windows too, though. So I think what I should do is I should create windows on this one first. So let's see here. Selection. Let's use more of these. So what kind of size windows do we want on this guy? Like, are train windows usually like opposite? Train interior. Yeah, they look like they're pretty big too. I guess it depends. You got some circle, and that's pretty cool. Well, for now we'll use squares. So how many windows do we want on this? It's like a window for every other box, maybe? Remember Alt and drag. We'll just drag it out. And now select that. Go back to modeling mode. shift. Because shift shouldn't move it. Sometimes if you hit control when you do this, it moves. Alright, so now we can try booleaning that. And you can't because I'm doing too many at a time. So, well, there's gonna be a bunch of meshes in my freaking folder now. I could have just also extended these 4 to across the whole length, but it's like, just take this as much time. I'll just have to delete. You have to select the first one, the one that you want to cut, and then you select the one that's cutting it second. If that wasn't apparent. All right. So now this is the main train carriage with just only one door on that end. So let's go ahead and find this one. 3B SM train final. Right. Now we can delete these. Okay. And then we'll do one last bool, which will be the carriage final. Right. SM carriage final. All right. Save that. And now delete that. We'll replace this, edit, replace this with the final. And I need to change the pivot. So hold up. Undo that. Pivot, pivot. All right. And then same with this one. All right. And details, edit, viewport, train car, final. Boo, why is it doing that? There we go. No, I didn't do it. Well, actually not sure what's going on here. Oh, this lost the sockets. So I gotta re-add those sockets. Um, Dang it. That's what happens when you do a bool. You lose all that information. All right, and then I'm gonna have to do that on this one too. It's okay though. It's okay. Um, we want to create a child blueprint class. Okay, and this final. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Does it have to do the location of where I created the pivot in the map? It's possible. Well, first off, this needs to be the exact same as this one. What is happening? Whatever. I have a feeling this is gonna like break everything, which will be very disappointing if that's the case. I'm gonna test if it works first before I spend time changing these lights. The train carriage doesn't need this. Except it's gonna take all the code anyways. Okay. Let's just make sure it still works. Um, is that still on the spline? Yes, it is. And now this has a new location, so I gotta make sure to change that spline to that. Let's try it. Okay. And we're not inside, right? We're not inside the map. No, we're still right where we should be. Okay, good. So let's just see if we can walk to the... Come walk to the other side. Wait, hold up. Looks like they... kind of error. A couple things happened here. This I didn't change. I didn't change the mesh, that's why. I didn't change it from to a character. Okay. Can I just change this? And then, so now it's not coming with me anymore. And I forgot to change the collision on that. Oh, also, did I not set the path? Right. Okay. So I forgot to, this one, the collision, I didn't change. First off, let me see the collision. I just need to change the size of this so I can walk out. And same thing with this one. Change this. Okay. Again, like I'm gonna be starting the game inside of this, so the outside collision doesn't matter too much, like if it's going outside like this. Right, and now we need the sockets. So, socket, light, socket, one, bracket, light, socket. It's a new naming convention where I use brackets for, okay. This needs to be over here. Okay. You know what? I still have the original one. So I should be able to maybe use these socket positions. Why didn't that happen? Here. 2, light, socket 3. So, alright. Oh, you know, it's because when I changed the pivot point of the socket, of the mesh of the original train car, it moved all the sockets. Well, I mean, it didn't move the socket, it moved the mesh. So the socket stayed in the same place, but the mesh moved. Okay. So we do the same thing in this one. One, socket 2, socket 3. Boo. I swear it has something to do with where I did the Boolean inside the level. Like it wants to put the mesh at a certain height or something. Um, it's fine. Roll with the changes. And I freaking. There we go. Let's close some of these. Wait a sec. What? No, that okay. That's one that's not being used currently. It's no longer being used. No longer being used. All right. So okay, so that's helpful. Did I just do that on the wrong one? No? So why am I not getting an option to revert? Bizarre. Like, where's the little button down here? Like they're acting like this is whatever. I'm not gonna question it. Collision? No collision. I just want to see if I can exit from one side to the other. Yes. Cool. Very cool. And then it snaps into the same spot when it ends. However, you know, like I said, my thing will be on a continuous spline, so it will never end like this. Now that I've done that, what I should do is I should figure out how to put it on a loop so it's continually moving. Because maybe, see, I got to make a decision what I'm going to do in my level. If I'm going to just have it constantly, I think it'll be easier to do a loop and then change the scenery as it moves along the loop versus, you know, I don't know. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see because I could also do a thing where it's like an endless runner type setup where as the train moves along the spline, this, this, the spline gets longer on this side, and then also the scenery just kind of spawns as you move through it. But I feel like I don't know which will take more performance or I feel like if you have a spline already in there and it's looping, it might be easier just to change the scenery around the loop versus constantly spawning new scenery. But you're kind of constantly spawning new scenery anyways on the loop. But in the endless version, you're also creating more spline. So it's an interesting question of what will actually be better performance wise. I'm leaning towards having a loop, a big loop. The thing with the loop is first off is the rotation of the carriages as they go along the loop. That creates issues, especially if you're trying to move from one to another. It might be easier just to kind of fake it um, when you're going along a straight spline and make it look like you're kind of rotating it because you could kind of rotate the world around the train rather than forcing these to rotate. I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to take another break here real quick and then I'll be back. First off, I want to see something about these train carriages to see where their actual location is. Like, where is the transform? So, like, I know this is going to break my train again, but I'd rather it be like this. I guess I could duplicate it. No, that's fine. Complete. Okay. And then same with this. So what, this didn't actually change the pivot? Is that what happened? That's why. I was wondering why it was higher than the other one. Just never actually edited the pivot. Alright, so now we just gotta edit this again. Bring it down to the other different anyways. Alright. I have to change the freaking light locations again. And then this didn't really change, which is good. Just that these. Alright. Cool. Just make sure it works again. at least they're like on the same height now. They should be at least. Let's see. Train car is what? 864. Train carriage is what? 864. It's a little further back. So should I make that the same? Maybe I should. What happens when I do that? Let's see here. Okay, that's good for me. Um, kind of don't need this. I don't really want to delete it because I want to remember what he did, but I mean, that's not hard to remember. Okay. Now I'm curious to see what this looks like. All right. So now, yeah, let's go back to his video where it does the loop.
Hello and welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial I want to show you how you can create this train station
After
where
this, I'm
the
gonna get lunch.
AI train is automatically stopping, and this track here where the train is driving automatically in a loop every round. So let's go. So the first thing I want to create is this train station here. So it's pretty easy. It's just an blueprint actor, and I just put, yeah, a cube. This one here that I see where the box is, a box collision, and this cube again. So pretty simple. These are on the tracks. The train hit the collision box. I'll just make this marker here so that I know. And yeah, it slowly hold on here.
So I'm not
So
going to do
let's
that.
fill up this with some
I'm going to have
functionality.
it
So
continue at the same
we
speed
go
and
to the
not slow down or
details
anything.
and go to begin overlap as always. And then we just go to other actor, cast to AI, play it from start, and we want to update it. So, and to component begin overlap event on another custom event will be the whole drive function.
Maybe you
Save
don't need to do
this.
any of this.
Let's see if it works. So we hit play. Down stopping as well, and after 5 seconds, it will
So how's it
continue driving.
Let me see what happens
Great.
here.
So now's the last part. I want that the train drives all this path here, and after it goes to the finished, that's already here, it will continue driving. So that's pretty easy. We go to the train itself again, go to our drive part here where we have this loop from the last tutorial, and we have this branch here. So it checks is the distance below the spline length. So is it at the target? So if it's not, so it is at the target, so that means false. We take our distance and we want to set it. And this is the false condition. Let's leave it to 0. And this one goes inside the retriggable delay. So let's see if this works.
Okay. I don't like the lines intersecting. That's why I'm extending this. There we go. So I basically, the idea is if the distance, if it's reaches destination, you reset the distance to 0 so that uh, fools the thing. So um, so this is just like if you want to add more spline. If you want to add a spline point. There you go. Just alt dragging at the end to create another spline. Where do you loop it? Closed loop. Let's do that. I need to make this a little bit. There you go. So, kind of got off the beaten path here a little bit. So let's see what happens since this is like off the path. Oh. I went over this stuff. First off, yeah, there are some errors happening here. Think this isn't like straight enough. Let's see here. Let's move these target boxes, whatever. You know, it'd be easier to move this. All right. And then there you go. Just kind of straight here. There we go. Chugga 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 chugga. Hopefully we'll just keep going forever. We're on a little train ride here. And it should just keep going. Yeah, it does. So you can see that the way the carriage kind of rotates here gets a little wacky when it turns. So it looks fine from this side, but if you actually look at the carriage now, what you could do is you could put like a door that's not necessarily see-through. It's something you have to fix. You can also, I don't know, like make the loops way not curve so much, like just curve over. Look at that! Oh my gosh, that's crazy. But you know, it is continuing along the spline, and it's never stopping. So now we got to figure out how to kind of fix that crazy rotation there. Like it would be fine as long as this carriage rotated at the same time that this one rotated. But I don't think it can because it would take it off the spline is what would happen. Yeah. So we got a train going around this level. Also the other thing is his feet get all crazy. Yeah, we got a nice little train going here. I think it's a good place for me to take a break and go eat and stuff. I will probably log on a little bit later to keep going. I don't know if I can try to fix this. Maybe I should... man, I would like to make the windows a little bit bigger now that I think about it, but I don't want to create a new mesh. And let's drop off. Ah! If I can get back on. Let's try to get over there. I'm coming. Oh, I'm coming. I'm gonna make it. Oh, ah, no. Alright, let's try one more time, and then I'm gonna log off. Oh, okay. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Check out Seredias' channel. He's got some good stuff. This is his train tutorials. All right, I will see you guys maybe later today. Thanks. Mhm.